Hi everyone, welcome. This is trending right now on X. So I've seen some persons speak about Imisi in a very highly condescending manner, and some of them linked it to a certain video. So I think somebody posted a video of Imisi saying that she was raped twice. She aborted a baby at age 19, or age 13, and that she tried to work on the psychology of Nigerians, and that's the reason why, she's been loved. There's nothing about her that is in any way a reason why anybody should like her, and she just used that as an opportunity to gain the attention of most Nigerians. But I have to go back to check that video because I wasn't too sure, so I had to go back to check that video, and I found that video. It happened. This particular issue happened 7 days ago. Big Brother had asked them to write a little story about themselves, and then they would most likely act on it, and maybe use it as a lesson to teach people about life generally. And then in that spur of the moment, it was media that was even having that conversation with them about life generally and the story behind, true life stories about themselves. And, she started telling her story, it's not like she planned it. She planned to tell the story. She said she read the room that everybody is watching or looking at her, and then she told the story. No, that wasn't the situation. It was just at the spur of the moment that she told her own story about what actually happened and the reasons why she hates the dark, and the fact that she even sleeps in the garden since she came, and she hasn't really told the story about why she hates the dark. But now it was really clear how and why she hated the dark. So I just wanted to watch this video, and so you could also deduce exactly what specifically I'm talking about.
The first time I was sent out from the house. So I lived in Okubaba. I don't know.
Well, watch this.
I was sent out from the house. So I lived in Okubaba. I don't know, but I don't know if you guys actually know about it. So there was somebody that actually took me from the third day I left to his house. Then his mom realized.
So does this look like, she was telling her own story?
And in the church, there's like a storeroom there, very dark. It was just me alone. Nobody in that church, it was just me alone. Then he left. I don't know if he had an idea that there was something that was actually going to happen that night. Yeah, because I don't actually have where to go to. I can't go back home to my parents. And I can't even go back to Okubaba at that point, like that time. So I had to sleep all night there, and I got raped. That was the first time I got raped in my life. So I had to go back to school the next day, then go back to under bridge. Then I was sent to go back home. Then I got raped the second time in that room. So I think that is something that actually traumatizes me every time, every point. And I don't think I can do with darkness again in my life. I can't. So I have to keep going back there till I think the fourth time. Then I realized I was pregnant, and I was just 13 or 12 years old. Then I had to abort the child when I was just 13. Then it just kept going on and on and on like that.
She had to abort the baby at that time, and it's just so unfortunate. But again, I really don't know the reasons why people use people's stories, in order to push. Let's even say for a second that she planted the story in order to curry votes, so to speak. Is it 7 days ago that we're talking about the show ending in 2 weeks, in the space of 2 weeks, that people will change their mind about who they will vote for the finals? I mean, really, it doesn't make any sense, because I've seen a lot of comments. Let me just roll some of the comments for you that people were saying regarding that, because this happened 7 days ago. And I think it may have even skipped me. It was when somebody was talking about it on X. That was when I said, did this really happen? So to tell you that even before that explanation happened about her having to go through this experience, she has already had this mob followership. So even if she didn't actually tell the story, for crying out loud, she will still win it, like it or leave it. And this kind of story really doesn't move a lot of Nigerians, because people also have a flurry of stories that they can. And then with the way she's telling the story, you can really tell that it was her experience. You could tell that she's agitated. You could tell that she's angry about the situation. And she even acted it. Remember the acting where she won? She even acted it in her own presentation. So it's crazy when people, because of fanship, because of the certain personality that they think should win it, they're trying to play down people's experiences. Let's take this one. Nonso Corner says, I feel this hard, true story. Imisi, you're strong. Be strong. God will help you fight your fear. It is not easy. This one says, Sultana shared her story on how she became a mom at 15. We believed her. But haters are saying we cannot believe Imisi's story. Someone that doesn't like sleeping in the dark. Imisi, with or without his story, we are voting for you, and it's not about pity at all. We stand by you. This one says, trauma is better, not experience at age 13. Damn, Imisi, you're blessed. This one says, sad to hear she went through this ordeal. Glad it hasn't broken her cheerful countenance. Omalicha says, Imisi is a strategist. Right timing to tell this kinds of story. Girl is working on our emotional bank. What an experience. Well, here we go. As many that thinks it's a strategy, receive your own strategy too, since it's nice. She always talked about her fear for the dark, just that she hasn't talked about it in details. Imisi, we Imisi stars love you, and we are not going to rest until you win. This one says, it's a touching story, and my heart goes to her, but regardless, bad behavior should never be excused. I beg, this one past strategy, it's no more strategy, I beg. This one says, if she says that's her story, then that's her story. If you don't believe, leave her alone. You haters believe other people's story, but you don't believe her. Focus on your fave. We will vote for Imisi. This one says, all of you haters saying PT votes. This is not the first time Imisi is narrating her story. Haters, now what for now? Everyone has his or her dark story. Vicky says, yeah, and she kept this secret to herself since. I feel so sorry for you, Imisi. Don't worry, you are the next winner. People are crazy, this one says. We all know that Imisi was top 2 before this story because we love her. It was Mide that brought the idea about fear, and Imisi started telling this story. This one says, this is super story. This life is beautiful when everything seems to be falling apart. I beg everybody, get story. This one, no enter at all. Trying to water down her story. This one says, whether she says it's a story or not, it won't stop her fans from voting for her. You're saying she's an actress, so actress doesn't have her own life story. You're saying she doesn't have her childhood trauma. So because she's an actor, she doesn't have real life experience. Maybe your hater die with hate in your heart. That's why they're so angry. This one says, much love. They will never go unpunished. The Lord will fight them for you because you are a blessed child of God. Looking at her, you will know she has been through a lot, hence the reason why she reacts the way she does. This is not a performance at all. This one says, but why are Faith fans crying in the comment section? This is about Imisi. Focus on your fave. This one says, Imisi, your story is sad, but show don't finish now. Okay, that's our point. That's our point. I mean, the show is ended. Basically, nobody would ever try to change their mind because they told the story, and then they're telling the story just 3 weeks apart from the finale. Like I said, every single winner over the years, had their momentum start from the second, third week throughout the period. So coming now to say, oh well, she's basically trying to curry personal gains through that story. It makes no sense. But let me say this. She's also called. I'm even shocked at her power and resilience. There are ladies who will pass through that trauma, and they will never even come and participate in some things like this. Yes, they feel unkept, they feel unworthy, they feel that it is not something that they can achieve, they feel that they cannot achieve anything in life. These are people who are in her shoes, are people who will not want to come out and participate for BBNaija, to go for BBNaija. Why would they want to come out for BBNaija? On what basis? What is their thing? Because they've already, inculcated in themselves a limitation that cannot move beyond what it is that exists in the outside. That is exactly what people who are in their shoes or in her shoes do, especially ladies. For her to even be called in so many quarters as one of the funniest ladies we had ever had in the Big Brother house in the history, is to tell you that she is overcoming that experience that she had. And also sometimes it's not even hinging, I don't want to hinge this conversation on maybe the experience that she has, but I'm trying to let you guys know that look, this lady is entertaining true and true, the kind of person you would like to watch. Because with watching her, you cannot predict what she's going to do next. You cannot predict what she's going to say next. You cannot predict what's going to happen around her next. And that is the hallmark of all of the people who have won Big Brother. Go and check. There's something that's mysterious about them. Something just mysterious about them. Just go and check. Is it Mercy Eke? Is it Uti Wanchuku? Is it White Money? There's just something mysterious around them that gives them that edge. And again, like I mentioned, sometimes again, these things are luck. Some persons within that house may have had worse experiences. Yes, may have had worse experiences. I mean, we've heard Sultana's story. Sultana's story can easily be twisted or can easily be ruled into, for us thinking, oh, this person got pregnant at age 15, married off without her consent and all that thing. And then she had to leave her marriage because, of course, she became self-aware and she didn't think she wants to be in that relationship anymore. I mean, that could easily be a soft spot or a soft target for anybody who cares about, her experience and want to also make sure that she wins the money. Yes. So, and Sultana has also told her story. So why do you believe Sultana's story? Why do you believe Isabella's story? Why do you believe every other person's story? Why not Imisi's story? Why don't you believe Imisi's story? Because she's not your favorite. What I'm trying to say in essence is, let's give everybody the opportunity to play the level playing field. Everybody's got a story that not so proud of or that is so bad. I also see people saying things like bad behavior, you got caught in the wind, you probably got served right, because again, why would you be going to someone's house at age 13? And come on, man, guys, at that age, for a minor, sometimes this thing happens. Sometimes the relationship you have with your parents at a time in your life may not be that perfect and not wonderful. And maybe even telling those stories at that time would mean that the parents may not necessarily be proud of you or proud of what they did to you, And she actually at some point mentioned that the fact that the mom threw her outside the house. Sometimes parents can overdo things, can really, really overdo things based on what the kid may have done. She's an adolescent, and God damn it, we know that adolescents' vigor and power is way different, from what we see and hear and feel every day. Sometimes, because of how their mindset runs, they tend to be very rebellious. But the rebellion almost always comes from an approach that the parents don't want to use in order to quell some of the things that they are facing. So would I blame her for being at the wrong place at the wrong time? Of course not. Are you in your mind going, if somebody tells you today when you are going out, you're going to be raped, and then you decide, you know what, since I'm going to be going out, I'm going to make it easy for them to rape me. So I'm not going to wear pants, I'm not going to wear a bra, I'll just wear a mini skirt, and then I'll make sure I go into several places that I think that they can kidnap me. And come on, people don't plan for bad things to happen to them. She went to this guy's house hoping that she'll be safe, but because that was apparently the only option she has. And she even told you that she even went to under bridge, raped twice. This thing is still traumatizing her. She's what, 23 now? This didn't happen like 10 years ago. And then, I'm not saying because of that, give her the money, or because of that, vote for her. But, appreciate the fact that she's changing her life. She's moving her life from that trauma she faced into something better. Nobody would have thought, not even me for the life of me, nobody would have thought that nobody would in this world would have thought that she passed through these things that she just mentioned. Being jovial, laughing, cracking jokes, the funniest lady housemates in that house. I think she's even the funniest amongst all of them. She's the funniest amongst all of them, and the most entertaining, and the most talented when it comes to acting. So I don't like putting this forward as a reason to want to vote for her. If the story doesn't move you, no problem. Let the story not even move you, no problem. But then, for who she is, for what she has brought to the show, for the countenance she has brought, and now realizing what she has passed through. Come on, guys. There's no going back on this. There's no going back on that. I keep saying this. They are going to show the final vote. The only thing I will ask you to do, guys, they are going to show the final vote on that day, right? Check her votes and check the second, third, check all the ladies' votes. If they fix all the ladies' vote together, from Dede to Sultana to Isabella and the likes, add all the ladies' vote together, it will not be up to hers. I'm telling you, even the second person that will most likely be Faith. You will see the margin will be too wide, and it's not because of the story she told. It's too late. It's too late. It's not 3 weeks to the end of the show that we always know the winner of the show. Go and check all of the history that we have had with BBNaija. The winner is always known from the second/3rd weeks of the show. Look, at the beginning of this year's Big Brother, as I watched the first 4 days, I listed 3 persons that are most likely going to win it. I just said these 3 persons is hovering around these 3 persons. I picked Denari. I picked what's this guy's name? I picked Denari. I picked Faith was not even in the picture. It was Denari, Imisi, and one other guy. That I said this might be, but when Denari left, I said no. That it means that it's and truth be told, she has been consistent with the vote. She has always been top 2 throughout. Even the week that she will not be up for eviction, her numbers will be higher than than other who are up for eviction. I am not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. So if you take out the chances really of other housemates versus her, I mean, you could tell really that there's no going back on this. Look at Diddy. Fantastic lady. I mean, I personally feel that first 2-3 weeks she was nowhere. She didn't bring out herself early enough for people to see her. First week, what's her name? Imisi was already was already doing drama in the house, was making everybody laugh. I'm sure that once or twice Biggie himself would have busted it into laughter. There was one particular one. She went under the microphone or the speaker where she wanted to speak to Big Brother about something. And so she went under the speaker and was talking to Big Brother. Big Brother, can you give... The rule said if you want to speak to Big Brother, you should go to the direct session or maybe call that you have something to say or something. But this lady went to the speaker and started talking to Big Brother. And it was so hilarious. And, that one thing alone kept me, and all other things, which also people said that beyond the fact that she is someone who is jovial and who is funny, she's also a happy, good fellow lady. As someone who is unassuming and who would, basically, yes, may not necessarily have all the things together. Well, yeah, nobody really have everything together. Nobody ever really, but even in that vulnerability of not having things together, she still looks attractive. And she looks poised to actually win this money. I don't know. I don't know whether the money, if she wins it, is going to help heal that particular experience. Because trust me, your experience are lived. Nobody ever uses money to erase people's experiences. You can't use money to erase. It happened to me. I felt it. No matter the amount of money I have in my account, I cannot use it to change my experience. I can only use it to get better in making myself feel better, or maybe improving my life to make it better than where I was. But I can't use that money to change my experience. It is what it is. So when you give those kinds of verdict about the fact that, oh, well, yeah, you know what, it's all about what she experiences. That's why, it hasn't always been like that. It hasn't always been like that. There are people who have it all covered up and they walk away with the money. There are people who don't have it all covered up. And yes, they also walk away with the money. So it's neither here nor there. I've seen people even advance certain platforms. In certain platforms, I've seen people advance certain thoughts about faith. That Faith is deserving of that money. He's brilliant, he's intelligent, he's smart, he's cool. I mean, there's practically nothing you cannot look at in terms of what is obtainable, and an embodiment of a Big Brother winner that you cannot find in Faith. Yes, Faith has it. Well, nobody is doubting, nobody is saying, no, he's not good, or he doesn't know how to carry himself. He doesn't embody that power and strength of being a Big Brother star or a Big Brother winner. But it's just that there's an obstacle. There's someone else whose game is a lot better than yours. There are also a lot. And geez, trust me, even if Imisi wasn't in this game, Faith wouldn't have still won that money. Because Faith has this braggadocious attitude. I have never seen anybody. Go and check all the history of Nigeria's winners in Big Brother. Everybody who has been like Faith, braggadocious, condescending, lording over people, commanding people, everybody who have actually been that kind of person have always almost not won. Always, in fact, not even always always not won the Big Brother show. Go and check. Perry, the season that Perry, was in the house, it was the same thing. He was feeling himself. He was even saying he was top 5. He was saying, well, this guy also said the same thing, that he was top 5 too. Yes. Said he was top 5. He's there. He's high up there. And media and Kola was angry that, I mean, this guy is so which one is your top 5? I don't understand. As what? Like, and then they didn't even know when they said, instead of them to even win it, let them sacrifice their own votes and give it to Imisi to win it. He talks to people anyhow. And then you talk to people anyhow, and you want Nigerians to now vote for you. The Nigerians who will now spend their time to vote for you. No, now. So if you are so proud and then you have it all covered, you don't really need this environment. You don't really need these people around. See the reason why he gave. The reason he gave that he doesn't want to speak. He was quiet. For those who don't know, he was quiet for a long time. But Sultana made him talk because his soft spot is Sultana. See the thing, because he doesn't want to speak to anybody. Everybody pisses him off in the house. What the hell are you? Why did you come to the Big Brother house if you don't want people to piss you off? Then what the hell are you? Like, I don't get it. Like, if you want to be full of yourself, you want to be that ego wind, that alpha male, do it in your house. Okay, do it in whatever you think you are. Somebody is and was and will even be better than you 10,000 times. So drop this thing. Do you even know? Let me even guys give, because that's going to be my next video. Do you know that Kola is the richest housemate in that house? Go and check. But look at Kola. Will you tell that Kola is rich? Or has anything going for himself? That guy he got educated outside the country. He has, when he talk about Pepe, do you know he left his job in America just to be part of this Big Brother Naija? Oh God, they never will see anything. Kola is the richest. He pulled at the audition in Lagos. He pulled up with a Maserati with his personal bodyguard. God. But those housemates, they don't know. I think somebody mentioned it because on that day, she was also saw him. Somebody mentioned him, and, but to tell you that, when it comes to money, Faith is nowhere near Kola. In terms of riches, personal money, what I get in terms of assets, wealth, Faith no rich Kola. She ain't a doctor, him be. He practices in Nigeria. We know how much doctors are paid. So if you were a doctor in UK now, or maybe in South Africa, or somewhere in Japan, or United States, would have been saying, okay, this guy will go hold it. But Nigerian doctors, we know that they're not well paid. They're not better paid. And to think that he even has this attitude, how does he even treat his patients? How does he even relate with his patients? This kind of attitude, condescending attitude, a dismissive attitude. I can't talk to you because you're not my type, you're not my level. That's the kind of attitude, that's the thing he has. And I keep saying that even if Imisi wasn't in that house, it would take the glory of God for him to even win. Somebody else would have emerged. Somebody else, it would probably be Sultana or Isabella, that would have emerged and said, you know what, instead of us to give this money to this guy who is braggadocious and pompous, let's give it to somebody else, who probably even need the money, because as it stands, he doesn't feel like he needs the money. He doesn't think that vote even counts because of the way he behaves. So, for me, that is what Nigerians will look at. Because if you look at all the posts, in fact, I haven't even checked. I'm going to read out my own post, because people, Faith and Imisi's fans clashed on my YouTube channel. The first video I did on BBNaija, this channel is actually very new. Just seven or 8 days ago, I opened this channel, and the first video I did on Imisi and who would win the BBNaija, if you see the amount of people who went in there, you could see the fans of both Imisi and Faith bombing the platform. And if you go and count and see, and remember that voting is no longer text message. It used to be, because they also make money from that. But the council that they really don't need that now. Now it's online. Voting is online. And you know, when some things are online, it's not just a combination of the particular vote that Africa Magic gets on their website or DSTV gets on their websites. It's also about other countries. Remember, other countries are also watching. Do you know the fans that Imisi has outside this country? Hey, God. And that is exactly what even determines more who wins. Faith doesn't have those numbers outside the country. Faith, the only people who are drawn to Faith are people who are intelligent, people who are smart, who got everything all covered. But trust me, the Big Brother has never ever rewarded people who are the smartest or who are the most educated. And speaking of education, Kola is even much more educated than even this guy. He has a master's. Kola has a master's. He's richer than, and you could tell that Kola is humbler than Faith. You know, so where's all this braggadociousness coming from? You're a doctor, okay? Are you the first doctor? What's all this condescending look on people, or bringing down people, or shouting down on people, or making it look like you are the best out of the lots, or you shouldn't be sharing the same space with them? That is exactly what killed, or what is killing his game. Yes, he's amongst the top 5, maybe. He's among maybe even top 3. But even if Imisi was not in the picture, Faith would not win that game. Never. Never. At the very best, you could tell he knows how to do presentation. He's a smooth talker. You know, if he's in your team when it comes to doing sponsored projects, you just know that, man, you're fantastic with it. You just know that, man, you guys are going to be are going to win it if possible. And all of the stuff that he participated in, it almost seems as if it's 100%. Nobody's taking anything away from him in that. But if he was a little bit humble, not condescendingly looking at people, talking down on people, shouting down people, trust me, he would have been a better candidate. Best candidate would have won it, because again, he would have embodied everything, so called. And speaking of Isabella, and of course the likes of I've spoken about Sultana. Isabella, spoiled her game, and she's still spoiling her game. She doesn't even really care. At some point, I even said to myself, it's as if Isabella does not even know what she's in the house for. She just thinks she's on vacation. Like, she just thinks she's on vacation with several different boys. She's like the queen mother, and she's served the meal of the boys. And then she decides, today she's with this person, and then when she's done with this person, you toss the person away, and then this person comes. How many haven't we lost the count of the people whom she's been with? Haven't we lost the count? And people started saying that, oh, come on, you're a mother. We know that body no be firewood, but if something happens and the person you were with goes, keep yourself out now. I mean, it's a game, and there's a way you go about it, and people, for the life of me, think and feel that yes, you played your cards very well, and you can hold yourself. But again, because after Keikumi came, and it was even the first week you guys are doing that thing you guys were doing, second week the same thing, you were not focused. You're not focused on the show, on yourself, on the fact that you had no strategy by doing the things that you're doing. Kekume even would go behind you and speak ill of you, and then he speaks ill of you, and then you still stuck with him, and then he leaves instead of you to rearrange yourself and say, you know what, let me focus on my strategy. Or if you ever even have, the next thing you are with the next guy, and now this is the third guy that she is with. This is 10 weeks. This is Queen is the third guy that she's with. Apart from the other two guys, I've forgotten who the third guy was. But we are aware of Kumi and Queen and one of that guy, or two other guys, in fact. At some point it was even a thing with Collar. So when you put it that way, people start getting tired of. They'll say this person is not stable, relationship-wise, emotionally, she's not stable. And this one look like somebody who is a party pooper. If you give him this money now, it be like say she go carry him and tackle up, go finish him. And maybe the boy itself will not even see a bite of it. People have a way of looking at things, But I've been in a place where people talk about Isabella and they say, nah. Good, educated, nice, but again, she's not the type whom you want to bet on as the person who would do the right thing if push comes to shove. She goes more with her emotions. She goes more with the spur of the moment than planning and thinking before